What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some Ethereum. I think you guys will be interested to understand what's happening with this breakout through this 4,000 Canadian level, and we're starting to see some new momentum and some new consistency to the upside. So this is something I want to highlight in this video, and I also want to talk about the possible trajectory in the next few days, and what we might be seeing from Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency in the world. As always, check out the link in the description below for our Etsy store. We sell all kinds of crypto related sweaters, from Mana sweaters and t-shirts to Ethereum and Shiba. We got all kinds of t-shirts and things on there. Check out. We got all kinds of other stuff too, but please check that out if you feel like supporting the channel, and always helps us. But this Ethereum, it's starting to look like it wants to break to the highs, and it's starting to look like we're going to find support, and we're finally breaking out of this wedge, this death wedge we've been in for so long. So this little wedge here, as you see, it's just been trading sideways between this three grand level, which I highlighted when I made a video back probably around this time in February, that this 3,100 has been the major support level. And you can see this kind of trending pattern to the upside when you look at the lows, making higher lows, even this still higher low from back here, right? We're still on an upward trend. This is still a very bullish pattern, right? So when you look at the overall trend, we're still on a very, very bullish trend. The problem was that we needed to break through this hard resistance at 42. When you look at this here, when it came all the way down and then it came back up and it tried to break, where was it? 42.17 was the high. So this 42.17 here was the overall downward trend, right? This was when we had a downward trend and we were still looking negatively on Ethereum, like, ooh, this might not hold. Maybe we're going to keep testing the lows, and we did, but they held. They held with higher highs. And this is when we want to start to think about the overall trajectory. Because when we start to go and test the overall highs again, like we did back in November, right? What we're going to see is we're going to see very quickly breakouts to much higher levels. So people like me that have been buying this thing since down here at 1,700, right? And have just been loading up since it was able to break out of this wedge pattern that we saw before, right? These are the same patterns we see when it breaks the chart. These are not just relative to crypto. These are stock chart patterns. These are overall understanding of trends and just how patterns form and how wedges form, and how we need to look towards breakout levels to see, like, this is a downward trend, but then once we break to the upside and we're able to hold that trend, this is now an upward trend. So now we want to be bullish instead of being bearish and kind of loading up on the lows. We want to be cautious now and maybe taking profits as we start to break out to new highs. But at this level here, we want to see this hold as support, right? That's the overall idea right now, is that we want to see this hold as support. As we see this start to come down, obviously it's not, we're not talking huge levels, it's down 1%, but overall the trajectory on the day is still to the upside, and we're still seeing a positive trend. So but we need to see this 4,200 hold. So 4,200, 41.89, this kind of level here, you'll see that was the same resistance here. So let's say 41.90 to 42.20. That's your $30 dollar range. And then if you go down to 31.80 or 31.75, you might be getting a dip, or sorry, 39.75, you might be getting that dip. But then if it breaks and you're seeing 39.5 or 39 again, we're looking at a downward trajectory again, right? It's not holding that upward trend again, right? So let's kind of, or I meant 41, 8 or 70 is what I meant, right? On the daily, at least. On the weekly, you still have this kind of upward trend, which would still be around 39. So we want to see this thing hold this 39 to 42 area, and then we're looking for a move higher to around what's the level here, 45 probably, give or take upwards of 49, right? And we could see that very quickly because this was the original breakout, right? Once we broke out 4,000 before, back in August, when crypto was strong then, you saw this immediate push upwards of 49.20. So if we can break out now, we see, an upside of at least 10%, probably 15%, and then we're looking at holding that, support of 45 maybe, and then push higher if we're seeing extremely bullish trend, or maybe it just grinds higher to 45 and then to 49, and then we'll see resistance, and that's probably where you want to start taking profits, right? So I don't recommend necessarily taking profits, like I said, in this area. If you're in crypto, say down here, and you're like, oh, should I start taking profits? What I recommend is you looking at it more like it's now breaking the downward trend and it's starting to move to an upward trend. So if we can hold this upward trend, hold 42, hold 35, 39, you're solid, right? So that's kind of the way you want to look at it. And I wouldn't be taking profits in this area unless it starts to break down below those, and then you start to take profits just to hold, to make sure you're not going to get caught in like a bull trap, right? Which this could be. Just could be a temporary breakout for a bigger rejection, right? We haven't seen this hold the support yet to give us the confirmation that we are still in a very, very bullish trend. But like I said in the Mana video, if you go watch it, that the buy sell imbalance on Mana was actually equal. It was a 50-50 on the trading activity, whereas you can see that Ethereum is still pretty bullish in terms of like 58% being a buy side imbalance, meaning that you still have a preference for Ethereum to go higher, or at least have a sustained buying presence to maintain the upward trend. So these are good things, and this is why if Ethereum can maintain higher, we will see sustaining. But right now we're seeing kind of this resistance levels that it's hitting, right? It's hitting resistance levels. It's kind of breaking through them a little bit, but now we're sitting at those levels, which is why you're probably going to see some hesitancy in terms of buyers stepping in until we can really break out these levels, or until they hold this support for a day or so. But that's going to be kind of the way you should play this in terms of this trend right now. Is this an upward trend? Let's find out. If it holds these levels that I'm saying, then we could be looking at a very bullish trend that could be looking to retest the highs, which would then be a 20-30% return from where you're at right now. And if it breaks out, you could be seeing 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever, This thing could go to 10,000 easily. And it would not surprise me if it went to 10,000 in the next month, right? But it would also surprise me if it didn't, and it went down to 35 in the next week. It's volatile. That's what volatility is. It's scary in some instances, but as long as you can understand these trends, as long as you understand the patterns, understand support and resistance, understand what you're doing in terms of putting your money at risk and looking to benefit from these, differences in prices, these price changes, fluctuations that allow you to benefit, you got to be willing to take the risk, and at the same time be willing to hold when you think that it's going to go higher, even though you're already up 100-200% on your investment, right? Okay, so that's all I have to say about this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like and subscribe. Always, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.